As promised, I gathered the 3 most popular Elbaph theories that the community has been coming up with and will be explaining each in this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Loki eats the fruit. As we know, a huge part of Rock's plan and why he wants Harold to join the crew so badly is because Rock wants Harold to eat a certain fruit. He said the fruit will only show its true power if Harold is the one who eats it. However, this specific theory states that child Loki is the one who ends up eating the fruit. And I'm not gonna lie, the evidence for this theory makes it seem pretty believable. When Rox and Harold were talking at the bar, it is then revealed that the children were sitting right outside of it, possibly hearing Rox ask Harold to eat this fruit and Harold saying no. And as we know, Loki absolutely adores Rox. He's asked him to join his crew over and over and has been denied over and over. So what if, in an attempt to make Rox want Loki to join his crew, Loki takes this matter into his own hands, steals the fruit or just finds it or whatever, and is the one who ends up eating it? You know, this theory is pretty straightforward and simple, but I absolutely love it, and it's because it reminds me of someone, and that someone being Luffy. Loki and Luffy have kind of been portrayed as somewhat narrative parallels to each other, and as we know, Oda really likes his parallels. Loki claiming he's the sun god and wanting to destroy the world, while Luffy actually being the sun god and helping the world every chance he gets. So I believe this would tie perfectly back to Luffy, him and Loki both being bratty children who ate their role model's fruit that they weren't supposed to, albeit for different reasons, still the same thing kind of. This theory isn't too crazy and kind of sounds almost guaranteed to happen, and if it is true, it wouldn't really change that much, unlike this next theory. Rox is alive inside of Blackbeard. When I first heard this theory floating around, I laughed, I rolled my eyes because it just sounds ridiculous. But I'm not gonna lie, after hearing all the evidence and Mr. Morge's amazing video on the matter, I'm linking his video in the description, I genuinely am on the side now that I'm a believer in this theory that Rox is inside of Blackbeard, genuinely living on. And I feel like there's almost a certainty for this theory to come true, because after hearing all the evidence, it just makes way too much sense with the evidence and a narrative level, story-wise. So the specifics of this theory is that, whether it be Rox himself or someone else, the Op fruit was used to implant Rox's personality and soul inside of Blackbeard. And why I like this theory so much is because it kind of fixes everything that we were confused about with Blackbeard. It explains why